My friends, my friends. Have you guys noticed something? Despite being 5 nations deep in Genshin Impact, very few, if any, overarching questions have been answered. I mean, the formula thus far has quite simply been we show up to a nation looking for the Archon, find out the nation just so happens to be experiencing a crisis. What are the odds? We solve the crisis because we are Teyvat's Messiah. Finally get to ask the Archon some questions, only for them to tell us nothing, and then rinse and repeat with the next nation. The real lore bombs are the dainsleif quests, but because those only happen once a year, it can lead to the feeling that Genshin Impact's overall plot is moving at the same pace as Helen Keller trying to read the entire Lord of the Rings series, but the sustainer is hot, so all is forgiven. Regardless, I've decided to come up with the 5 biggest mysteries in Genshin Impact thus far, so, I mean, without further ado, let's just start it, man. Number 5. Who is the Sinner? The newest mystery on our list. The Sinner was first introduced to us in version 3.5 during the Caribera quest. In this quest, we relived our siblings' experiences with Clothar Alberich, the founder of the Abyss Order, hundreds of years ago. Clothar is trying to rid his son Caribera of the curse of the wilderness, but to no avail. Towards the end of this memory, we and Clothar venture deep into an unknown sanctuary, where we encounter a crystal suspended in the air with chains and oozing a malevolent force into the air. We observe Hilichurls worshipping the object, before inexplicably, Clothar also does the same. He assumes the position. It's at this point the crystal then speaks to us in our minds and introduces himself to us as a sinner.
Oh, dear creature, why do you bow down? For fear of the unknown, or for a power that you covet? Oh, dear creature, why do you bow down? For I am no god, I am but a sinner. You are like a flower, born in sin, yet pure, spotless. I know your fate well. You need no longer hold back your resentment, nor accept the countless lies. Go forth, become a transcendent one. Rise beyond the fate bestowed upon you. And I shall shed a tear at the end of time, as I gaze back upon your life.
The voice claims he is a sinner and that we need no longer hold back our resentment and accept the countless lies. He then finishes off by stating he knows our fates well and that we should rise to become a transcendent one. The voice then ceases, but in its final act, seemingly imbues Clothar with abyssal power. Interestingly, when Clothar then administers medicine to Caribera one more time, Caribera regains consciousness and is able to speak, which Clothar attributes to the work of the Sinner. Once Caribera caught a glimpse of his true face, however, he runs away, and when we catch up with him, it appears as if he's overflowing with abyssal power, similar to that of the Sinner. Caribera then takes off his mask, unleashing some sort of explosion of energy, and is never seen again. Interestingly, however, when we return to the present and tell dainsleif of all that we saw, Dain suspects he knows who the Sinner is and that we must split up with him because he might have seen us, despite the fact that this was a memory hundreds of years ago. It defies logic. There's been plenty of theories regarding the identity of the Sinner, the most popular ones being it's the will of the Abyss that Kitsune Saigu saw, it's the second who came, or it's the bastard crackhead Dragon King Nibelung, or it's even King Irmin. I'm most partial to it being Nibelung just because I think with that answer, you can tie up the first 3 options together, and essentially with it being Nibelung, it would work as such. Nibelung is the second who came, who brought the power of darkness to Teyvat for the first time, and in doing so, became the will of the Abyss. I know this might not make a lot of sense at first given the descender implication, but for brevity's sake, man. In the Ordo storyline, we learned that not all who descend unto Teyvat can become descenders, as a key component is having a will strong enough to rival the entire world. However, given that, it then wouldn't be entirely unreasonable to assume that not all from Teyvat can't become descenders, because that is quite literally what Rene tried to do, but we stopped him. However, given Nibelung wasn't stopped from leaving the Earth and coming back with forbidden knowledge, it could be he succeeded in becoming a descender despite being from Teyvat. I do have 2 other whole videos dedicated to this topic if you are interested to learn more, however, just because there's a lot there. Or maybe there isn't. That's fine, it's a theory. The fourth biggest mystery is the identity of, a lot of fucking identities we don't know of, is the identity of KK. This is one of, if not the oldest mystery in Genshin Impact, as we first heard about KK over a year. We are 1K away from this being a fucking disaster. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by myself, we first heard about KK over a year before the game even came out. They were the ones who gave the Traveler's intro, and interestingly, they have separate words for Lumine compared to Ether. To Ether, KK says, quote, "Don't lose faith in that which you have lost. In this new world, you will never be alone. Where you leave your footprints and where you have yet to stride, your new world will unfold before you. Welcome to the new world." To Lumine, they say, quote, "The world you once knew is but dust, and the wonders you knew but rubble, though you should have your own world and your own people, lamenting what is already lost." KK is someone clearly acquainted with the Travelers, and is telling them they will enjoy this new world, and that, your old world it's donezo, bro. It's done. It's gone. Vamos. Finalmente. La biblioteca. KK has never once been mentioned in the actual game, and quite literally, the only identities that have been proposed are either Kevin Kaslana or Kiana Kaslana. I mean, sure, nigga, I guess. The only problem is, I'm not really sure the Kaslana name doesn't exist in Teyvat, given Kiana is the sustainer, but honestly, it's better than nothing, considering without those names, we'd have nothing. I mean, dude, at this point, you could say KK is Abe Lincoln, and I'd believe you. There's just nothing there. It could be the creator and the Traveler stories, but that's it. There's just nothing there. What's interesting is, despite KK's optimism about the Travelers coming to this new world, let's not forget Lumine said this about Teyvat.
Outlanders do not belong in this world.
KK presumably isn't the same person who gave the Travelers their wind gliders, as in the Wings of Dissension description, it talks about someone who gave the Travelers a pair of wind gliders long ago. Quote, "Your journey will become very dangerous from now on, so that person told you. I don't know if this cloth will do anything to protect you, but..." And that is it. Given this person says their journey will be dangerous, whereas KK is just like, "You'll make a lot of friends." They don't really seem like they could be the same person, but hey, Traveler lore is Traveler lore. The third biggest mystery in Genshin Impact thus far is, where are the Heavenly Principles? Quite possibly the most annoying mystery on the list is the absence of Celestia's involvement in any part of the plot outside of the first minutes of the game. This is especially concerning following Fontaine's Archon quest, in which Focalors not only destroyed the Hydro throne, but also returned a sovereign's authority back to them, and in turn committing extensive damage to the laws set up by the Heavenly Principles, and they've yet to respond. According to Nahida, the Heavenly Principles have been silent since the Cataclysm, but even she herself theorized that if she destroyed the Gnosis, they would awaken. However, given Focalors' actions, we can probably assume her hypothesis was incorrect. The Traveler's character profile, however, may have been able to offer some insight into the matter right from the beginning, writing, quote, "The Sustainer is passing away. The Creator has not yet come, but the world shall burn no more, for you shall ascend to the seat of the God." Ascending to the seat of a god, that sounds pretty similar to what the Sinner said to the Traveler. What does it mean? The only Sustainer we know of is our beloved Sustainer of Heavenly Principles, and the only Creator we know of is the primordial one, a progenitor god hailing from beyond the stars. So if it's true then that these two are either away or compromised, that would indeed explain why the Heavenly Principles have yet to do anything, and it's because Celestia would then be on fucking life support. However, this is by no means confirmed, and the Sustainer looks fine in the fight versus the twins, which is why the question of where are the Heavenly Principles is unsolved. The next one I'm sure is number one to a lot of you, but to me is the second greatest mystery in Genshin Impact, and it's who/what is Paimon. I quite literally don't think there's been a topic that's been discussed more than Paimon, our travel companion. We first met Paimon when we fished her out of a body of water, but beyond this, we know absolutely nothing of her happenings before running into us. We, for some reason, have not asked her any questions regarding her background, but due to her appearance, which closely mirrors that of the heavens. This has led most everyone to speculate she has some sort of connection to Celestia, be it the boots that mask the divine nails, the fact that she has a name in the Book of the Damned, the Ars Goetia, which only holds true for the gods. And Amy, or hell, even the fact that a Melusine hinted as such, saying that they saw a string on Paimon's back that goes up to the very sky itself. A popular theory regarding Paimon is that she's the sustainer in a weakened form. Given the Traveler story tells of a sustainer passing, and the fact that there is precedence for gods becoming smaller after expending a lot of power, people naturally connected the two fucking zigzag, one's in Narnia, one's in fucking Nambani, Africa dots, and reason the Sustainer used so much power during the Cataclysm, she shrunk and waited 500 years to link up with the Traveler to be a spy or some shit. I mean, this theory never really made sense to me, for no other reason than because I find the claim that she used so much power during the Cataclysm to be asinine. Assuming the Sustainer is a shade, that means she fought against the Sovereigns. Are you sitting here trying to tell me she used more power against Conria than she did against the Sovereigns? That's an insult to the Sovereigns. As someone who's extremely racist to the Sovereigns, I'm not hateful. So this is bullshit. I mean, I'm biased though, so who knows. Some noteworthy facts regarding Paimon are that, according to the Dottore weapon, we'll call this shit, she isn't a god because she fell asleep. And her memories have also been altered by Irminsul, so she's from Tibet at the very least, or she's just a really good actress and faking it. God, wouldn't it just be great, however, if in a future quest we hear Paimon reference Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, and then just some searing music plays while our eyes get big and we're like, what did you just say? Oh, that'd be the best, dog. Please, man, please do it. Speaking of that takes us to the biggest mystery in Genshin Impact thus far. How many times has Irminsul been altered before we came to Teyvat? This is a topic I have discussed at length in a separate video, just because I find it so damn interesting. The implications are absurd, but essentially it works as such. Given Irminsul holds the world's memories, and whatever Irminsul says history is what history is, can any of that history be trusted? The answer is no. When Irminsul is changed, people's memories and writings are also changed to reflect the new reality. Keep in mind, everything we know about Teyvat's history comes from books and people telling us. So in essence, everything we know about Teyvat's history could be wrong. Not in that certain events that shouldn't have happened or vice versa, but in how it happened. Just because remember, Irminsul doesn't undo history, it just alters it. It alters the memories of it. It attributes it to different people. There are very few individuals who know the unadulterated truth of Teyvat's history. They are the Descenders and probably the Hexen Circle, given them niggas are fucking just immune to Irminsul for whatever reason. So until we can verify with one of them, everything we know about Teyvat's history should be taken with a minuscule grain of salt. Why the Gnosis were handed out, how the Archons got the Gnosis, who won the war between the Primordial One and the second who came. Everything could be a lie. So that's about it for Teyvat's biggest mysteries thus far. It'll be interesting to see in the future which one of these gets answered. That'll be very interesting, man. There are obviously other mysteries, and maybe we'll talk about them. Maybe we'll talk about them. These are simply the ones I found the most endearing. Endearing? Did I use that word there? No, I'm not gonna check. Fuck it, I'll just roll with it.